better prepared this week. Rhino, I know what this is. I know it's coming up. It's Wakanda. What did I say, right? Forever. I think it's how they say it. And so that's Friday here on Good Things, which means we've got Tanya in the house to talk movies. And to say that this one has been, I guess, anticipated or a lot of, waiting for it would be an understatement. And it's here.
It is here, finally, and I did get to see it last night, and it does not disappoint.
Good.
Let me just tell you.
Because there's so many things they have that's fragile that they have to acknowledge.
Right.
And deal with.
And they do that, and they do it beautifully. I mean, I couldn't have written it. Well, of course, I couldn't have written it better, but I don't think anybody couldn't have written
it. But
unfortunately, they passed on mine. But I don't think anybody could have done a better job. I mean, so first of all, do not be late because the opening, sequence is something that you don't want to miss. So just keep that in mind. But we start off, and I'm not giving anything away because we saw some of this in the trailer, but you start off with King T'Challa's funeral, and Angela Bassett and Letitia Wright as Black Panther's mother and sister. They were just incredible. Their faces, I mean, some of the best acting. And I've always said Marvel got it right because they get really good actors, and they proved it in this. And then right after that is another little tribute. And let me just tell you, I ugly cried 4 times.
Oh, God, I can't handle it.
And I was like trying to contain myself because I was sitting close to other people. But I wasn't the only one. I heard a lot of sniffles. But I just felt like they did a great job of honoring not only the character, but the real Chadwick, the actor. And so, anyway, I couldn't have.
Was any of this, do you know if this movie was in the making or in the works pre his passing in real life?
I know that it had already been greenlit, and I think Ryan Coogler that directed it, I think had already kind of outlined what he wanted to do, and that's something I would love to know. And I'm sure it's out there. Like, what would they have done
had he?
Yeah. Because I mean, this is a whole new story, whole new scenery. We learn about new worlds, but it's a beautiful movie to watch. The music is incredible. It is PG-13. And there are some scary scenes. There was one time I jumped out of my chair. So I would definitely say your little kids don't need to go see it. And anyway, but yeah, so we start off with the funeral, and then Angela Bassett as Queen of Wakanda is making it known to the rest of the world who very much wants their big resource, the plutonium. And she's making it clear it stays with them and nobody else is going to get it because everybody else wants it to use as weapons or to make weapons. And so that's kind of how we start out off, and you see a threat come to Wakanda to try to steal that. And I feel like I'm stuttering because I don't want to mess up and tell you something and spoil it, because when I watched it, I had no idea what was coming, and I think that really made it even more enjoyable. But anyway, so we get to see, great action fighting. But anyway, Wakanda and its people is having to fight off a lot of people who want what they have. Now the world knows about it.
So the ending, is there the ending for?
Yeah, so make
how
sure.
Marvel does it?
Yeah, mid-credit, there's a great scene. It is something that it's, really advances the story. So you don't want to miss it. Usually it's something that's kind of cute or a hint, but to me this is a big one. But the post-credit credits, there's nothing. So
how long did you stay there waiting?
I stayed there like me and about 15 people. Everybody else left, so they obviously did their homework. So anyway, after the first bonus scene, free to go.
You're free to go. That's fine. I'd have been there too. Like, wait, I don't want to miss it. What could possibly else be coming out though this weekend up against it?
Well, there's one that's limited release, and it is the Will Ferrell, Ryan Reynolds, kind of current adaptation of A Christmas Carol, and it is only in limited theaters this weekend, and then it's going to be widely released next week, along with streaming it on Apple TV.
What's the name of it?
Oh gosh, I forgot to. It's one word.
Now I feel like we're playing Pictionary.
I know.
I was like, we'll find it though.
But Will plays the ghost of Christmas Present, and Ryan is the guy that, they're trying to fix his life. And then Octavia Spencer's always also in it, and she's always so good and everything. And it is PG-13 too.
I was trying to see. Why can't I find it?
I keep wanting to say Kringle, but it's not. Spirited. Thank you.
It's like, come save us, Rhino. We're all drowning in here.
I know. I was so blown away by Black Panther. I didn't really look up anything else because I was like, everybody has to go see this movie. I mean, if you do one thing this weekend, go see Black Panther.
And you need to see it in the theater.
Definitely.
I mean, it'll eventually be on Disney Plus, I'm sure, but I'm sure this is the one, kind of like Top Gun.
Yeah.
It needs to be seen.
And this is by far one of the best Marvel movies. I mean, I would rank it up there easily number 1 or 2. I mean, it was so good.
And in the original one of the top movies that even Top Gun finally surpassed, didn't the original Black Panther break all kinds of...
It did, and this one is on pace to do that too, or the post-pandemic numbers. They're saying after this weekend it should easily be in number 3, but I wouldn't be surprised if it's more. The only thing that's hurting it is some of other countries aren't going to show it, but this one is the 30th film in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and then it's also the final film in what they call Phase 4, and the phases are, I can't believe we're already on 4. I was thinking we were in Phase 2, but they base those phases based on the years. So this is one of the first ones that has movies and television series. So
there'll be a television series connected to it?
Not this, but I mean just the Phase 4, umbrella includes some of the TV series we've seen. It kicked off with WandaVision, and then of course here we are. We're ending it with this movie.
There's so many things I want to ask, but I know it's I don't want you to ruin it for me, and I know you don't want to ruin it for other people. But it makes you think now, looking back to the last one, what was Michael B. Jordan? Was that his name? You're like, man, you wish he wouldn't have died. Maybe, but I'm sure they handle it.
Yeah, he's such a good actor. Before the movie starts, and I know every theater's different, but the trailers are so good. And he's coming out. I mean, a new movie coming out with him, the sequel to Creed, we got a Mission Impossible.
Oh yeah, I forgot about
preview.
that.
So that one's on the horizon. So lots of good stuff coming. But yeah, so Letitia Wright that plays Shuri, Black Panther's sister, she really, in the first movie we saw her, she was kind of the comic relief, and in this one, she shows her acting chops. I mean, she's really a great dramatic actress. And then, of course, Angela Bassett as the Queen. There's nothing she can do wrong, and she's just as good as ever. And she has a new hairdo in this one, and it's gray, short and gray. And I feel like that's going to be a very popular hairstyle after people go and see this movie.
Embrace the wisdom.
Yes.
that your hair is trying to give you.
Yeah.
What's interesting when you think about it, now I'm going to have to watch to see if that sort of transpires into how people, people get inspired by all kind of hair, trends and things. You never know what will spark that.
Yeah, and this movie has such, in addition to the beautiful scenery, the great music, the costumes are incredible. I mean,
how long is it? Sometimes Marvel can get long.
Yeah, this is a long one. It is 2 hours and 48 minutes, I
Oh.
believe. And then by the time you tack on previews and all that, you're looking at a solid 3 hours.
So get the big popcorn
Yeah, yeah.
and extra snacks for that.
Yeah, and I would say don't get the big drink, though, because you're not going to want to get up and go to the bathroom.
That is going to be, that's some good advice. Man, that is kind of long, but at least you know going into it. And it sounds like, again, this is just one that needs to be seen in the theaters. You don't want to miss out on that.
for sure.
All righty, Tanya, thank you for your time. You guys stick with us. We got more for you coming up next.